back over here. And just as a preemptive, good evening, everyone. As always, we're waiting for a few seconds to get confirmation that it's being broadcasted everywhere. We are live on Twitch.
Got it on YouTube.
Yep, just say that. YouTube is up.
Yes, it is live over on YouTube. And I'm refreshing the screen over on Facebook. And we are, well, if you would quit moving around, Dad Barnett.
That old nasty thing.
I keep on trying to push it, and every time I push it, something pops up which moves the thing, and I can't get it. So it's like, hold still for me for a second there. Well, good evening, and welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. It is 8 o'clock, and we're all here, and we have our guests on tonight, Cory and Jessica, and they're from, what is it, Make, Shape, Create? Yeah. And so we're going to talk to them. We'll actually they'll be introduced last because they're the guests. But before we go into introductions, I have a little bit of a announcement. So as some of you may know, I have started a new video series over on Simply Wooden Creations, Cooking with Russ. I posted my first video Monday, and it's doing quite well. I'm very impressed with how it's doing. So everybody seems to like it. I've got a lot of comments, a lot of emails. I think I got like 40 emails from people saying how much they liked it, and also telling me what they want me to cook so they can learn how to cook it. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, I got 42 emails from people saying like, can you do this so I can learn how to do it? So, but that's not the only thing about that is also, and I will post it out in the chat or in the comments after this show is over, I should say. Also, I've done a thing. Hold on just one second. And I will get there. I should have had this already set up, but I forgot about it.
Are you going to make us accomplices?
Yeah.
Aiding and abetting?
Aiding and abetting.
Aren't we always?
Pretty much.
Only if you're caught.
Just give me 1 second so I can share this.
Live protection. Isn't it
Oh,
great?
so yeah. So here we go. Screen share. So I have opened up a new YouTube channel. And as you can see, it is Cooking with Russ. So there you have it. If I'll put the URL because it's not the same, and I'm not able to, since I just started this new channel, I'm not able to monetize it or for it to have its own name. So if you don't mind, those of you who are out there watching, I would ask that you go over there and subscribe to my channel. I got 8 subscribers right now. I just put this up this week, and this is actually the first time that I've actually told anybody other than some of my friends about it. So yeah, the Cooking with Russ YouTube channel. And if you go to my website, you will also notice up here in the title bar, I've added a page on my website, Cooking with Russ. And I am working on that at the present time. And what you'll be able to do is scroll down, and down here at the bottom. Now this is one of my scroll saw patterns, but it's going to be changing. What you'll do is I'll have the recipes for what I do down here, and you'll actually be able to download them as a PDF. So I'm working on that right now. I'm writing up the recipe for the sauteed pork chops right now, so you'll be able to click on this. Right now it's just showing you the Love You scroll saw pattern. So That's all it's showing for now. But eventually, every time I do a video, I'll have the recipe down there that you'll be able to download and follow along. So, but I'm working on the recipe for the sauteed pork chops right now. I've been working on it today. Plus, I had a couple of other things I had to fire off my CNC today to do some engraving for someone. So I was working on that this afternoon. But yeah, Cooking with Russ, brand new channel over on YouTube. I appreciate you going over there. All right, let's not forget my sponsors, and they are Devobal Technologies. For web design, development, and hosting, visit devobal.com. FastCap, innovative products for the professional woodworker. Go to fastcap.com. Rockler, 60 years in woodworking. Create with confidence. Visit rockler.com. Bearwood Supply Company, your best choice for hard-to-find woodworking supplies. Go to bearwood.com. Klingspor, the sanding specialist, woodworkingshop.com. Seiko, the scroll saw specialist, seiko.com. And Scrollnado, dust collection for your scroll saw, and you can find them on Amazon. So, we'll start off with the panel introduction, and first is, and she's always in here first, so she's always the first one, and she's even first over there today, is Brenda.
Thanks, Russ. I'm Brenda G, Brenda G's Designs, for anybody that doesn't know me. I've got a YouTube channel called Brenda G's Designs. You can find me all over the internet if you look for Brenda G's Designs. I'm on Etsy, I'm on Instagram, Teesprings, BitChute, Makers Media Network, Facebook. I have a website called BrendaG'sDesigns.net. I'm on Twitter. On my YouTube channel, I do crafts and comedy and a live stream on Thursday night with Matt Haas from Awesome Wood Things and All Things YouTube and about 50 other channels he won't admit to.
Cool. 50 other channels that you don't admit to?
That he won't admit to.
Oh, he won't admit to. Yeah, he's the channel making machine. I'm telling you. Jim Bashirs.
You caught me typing. Jim Bashirs with a YouTube channel called Driveway Workshop, and looking forward to asking Cory and Jessica some questions. Went to the indie woodworking show last weekend. That was a lot of fun. Got a bunch of bowl blanks pretty cheap and some pen blanks, so we're cutting up some wood here pretty soon.
Cool. Dixon.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Russ. You can find me on Hoffman Signs and Decals /3D Printing or on Facebook.
And Paul. Yeah, you're muted.
I just noticed that. That's how I keep from cutting in on people. Paul Corliss from Paul's Messy Workshop. You can find me on YouTube at Paul's Messy Workshop, on Instagram at Paul's Messy Workshop, or if HostGator ever gets my problem fixed, you can find me at paulsmessyworkshop.com.
Great. Chris.
Hey guys, Chris here at the old Cranky Workshop, where it's a whopping tropical 27 degrees. So,
how what?
Workshop is 27.
Oh,
a little chilly. But workshop's closed for the winter, but you'll find me on Facebook and YouTube. And hopefully you'll find me in Florida by this time, sometime next year. So I'm done. It's time to go.
Cool. Good to have you. I mean, well, it'll be good to have you down here. Yep. Maybe we can get together more often.
Sure. Definitely. 23
degrees?
23. Holy crap.
25 degrees? Oh,
I told you ours was tropical.
Man. Yeah, I think it got up to 71 this afternoon. I think it's probably like 68 right now outside. So
I'm moving to Florida.
Yeah. See, Russ Meadows is like me, 72. Yeah. So, Al, you're next.
Hello, Al.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are around the world. Welcome to Simply Wooden Creations and Let's Talk Shop with Russ. I'm Al Forte. I can be found as Kilroy79763 all over the place. I've got a YouTube channel that's been kind of dormant, I guess. I've got videos, I just haven't put them up. But I've been doing a bunch of different things lately. One of them is I've been creating Minecraft sword stuff for a fort bed that I did. And although I may not stream tomorrow, maybe I'll paint this one. But anyway, that's what I've been up to. Just go look for Kilroy79763, and you'll find me all over the place: Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all out there. Thank you for having me.
All right, Jim and Dixon and Chris and Paul. Jim Dockrell's got you beat 19 degrees where he lives.
Oh.
Man, that's cold in Will Diggers behind in Beaumont, Texas.
Oh, I was talking in the house.
And it's 58 here, guys. We had 6 inches of snow the day before yesterday. Yes, 6 inches of snow in the desert.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Russ Meadows.
Hey everybody, Russ Meadows here from Rusty Nails with the Z Wood Shop. Y'all can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and I mean the almost absolute most dormant YouTube channel out there. Still have one, but thinking about others. I want to make an announcement if I can about the cruise.
Yes.
For those of y'all that are going on the cruise, those of you that are considering it, it has to be fully paid for by November 2nd of this year for the cruise in January. So if anybody's thinking about it and has forgot to look, then November 2nd is the full payoff day. So just want to break that out there for you.
Thanks, Ron. Russ Meadows.
Yep.
No. And my name is Jim Bashirs.
You didn't even get the drink package, man. Don't even look at me.
Oh, wait a minute. Matt Haas. I'm Matt Haas on the cruise.
You can sit on our patio, though. We got one of the patio rooms, so you can come in and sit out there if you want.
There you go.
Matt Haas is out in the chat, so you can't be impersonating him.
He's not here, by God. I got it.
All right. Just before we get to our guests, we have Aussie Man, as always, is out there. Thank you so very much. And also, Matt Haas, Awesome Wood Things, is out in the chat. Jim Dockrell, James Parker, Michael McCroy. I guess that's how you say that. Tim McCullough. And if I butcher a name, I'm sorry, but I do that really quite often. Wood If I Could is out there. John C. Michelle Marcoux is out there. Just trying to scan down. Dave Hart is out there in the chat, and
T-Mac is there.
T-Mac's out there. Yep, he just popped in. I'm back, he says. Hello, T-Mac. And hello
Tim
to all
McCullough.
y'all are out there. And if I haven't called your name, I'll get to it. Trust me. I'll get to it. I'll stumble across it sooner or later. So, yes, tonight we have Cory and Jessica from Make, Shape, and Create. They have been posting on my Facebook group page, a worldwide woodworkers and makers on YouTube, and I stumbled across some of their videos and I started watching. I'm like, wow, those are pretty cool. So I PM them and asked them if they'd like to be on the show on a Saturday night, and they graciously accepted, and here they are. How y'all doing, Cory and Jessica?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing all good. So usually, since I'm head guy in charge, I get to ask the first question. What got y'all into, what turns you on, or what did you see that was interesting that got you into woodworking?
So it was actually Cory's idea. We both like to do crafty and making things, and he's actually an artist. He does a lot of drawing. I actually do writing, and we were like, you know what? He was watching YouTube, and he said, we could do this. We can make things.
I came across 2 channels that I've always watched, like Adam Savage on like tested.com and stuff like that. And I've known him, we've known him from Mythbusters and stuff like that. And always loved watching them, but it just seemed so far out there. This is this guy that makes TV shows, and you could never do that. I saw this channel called I Like to Make Stuff with Bob Claggett. I don't know if you guys know who it is. I stumbled across his channel, and he just made it look super inviting, super fun, super easy. And I literally just fell down the rabbit hole and like in probably a week watched all his videos. And then that led me to Evan and Caitlin, which is another channel that's kind of similar that we both really like. And they're a little more, they do DIY stuff too, but they do a little more crafty and artsy stuff and stuff like that. And between the two of them, I was just like, you know, it'd be really cool for us to try to take the two of these and try to like mix them together and do something kind of that's a little bit of both, but like put our own spin on it. And so that's kind of where we got the idea. And I think we actually set up the channel about a year ago, but we didn't put up our first video until May 22nd.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on a year, but yeah. But like we've always, like she said, we've always made stuff of some kind of another, be it art or, you know, wood shop in high school or crafts or whatever.
Cool. And that's good that you took two different channels that you liked and kind of, you know, made your own out of both of them, because I don't think it's really good to ever copy somebody, totally copy them, you know. So by doing that worked out really good. And yeah, I've watched a few of them. We were talking about the one earlier, Snow Globe, and that was a pretty cool video. It was interesting that somebody brought up, and I think it was Jim or whatever brought up about, or somebody else brought up about when you put it together about having an accident. In other words, if it leaking, so to speak.
We are still so afraid that the thing's gonna like spring a leak that we actually have it in the closet, like upside down. What would be upside down? Because it's like, I don't know how well this hot glue and E6000 is really going to hold up like all year round. So like, we'll just put it out for the holidays and then we'll flip it back over the other 11 months of the year.
You can always store it in the bathtub.
True.
Yeah, I was like, you have to do that over the bathtub. I'm not.
Oh, anybody, and also welcome. We welcome questions out there in the chat. If everybody could help me keep an eye on if that somebody has a question out there to ask them if I don't get over there. But anybody have any questions for them?
I have a question.
Sure.
I see you spray painting that lamp, and I gotta ask you, it was hard to tell. Is your shop located in the basement, or is it out in the garage? Because one time I sprayed in the basement with a can, and holy cow, the wife come running down there. What are you doing? It's, you know, it smells. The odor from a can of paint is so strong. So I just wondering where your shop is located.
It's actually in our apartment, an apartment bedroom. We actually, in another video, we made a portable paint booth, and it hooks up to a fan that's connected to the window, and it's got a filter on it and everything, and that way it filters out the fumes and stuff like that you're talking about, so we can use it indoors. But yeah, it's literally a 10 by 10 bedroom in our apartment. Like I said before we started, we're actually in the process of moving, and one of the benefits of that is we're going to have a shop that's about double the size. So
cool.
Wow. We're actually really looking forward to that.
Yeah, after that happened with me, it's like, okay, I go on Amazon and I got a 2-man tent for when I paint my signs here. It gets real cold in the winter in Wisconsin, and then I have a smaller one for painting all small parts, and that worked out pretty good. I use the exhaust from the dryer. I have vents on there for my laser, but yeah, when I seen you painting that, I thought, holy crap.
Yeah. I've actually one time spray painted without opening the window. That was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was sitting in the living room and I'm like, I walk in and I'm like, did you turn on the exhaust? She's like, no, it's cold outside. I'm like, it blows out the window, not in the window, blow out. She's like,
Reminds me of that song. Reminds me of that song. I get high with a little help from my friends.
Ooh, gonna try with a little help from my friends.
We used to. My brother has painted houses pretty much all of his life. He was the painter and I was the carpenter. And one of my favorite times when we were painting, we used to have the old wooden bifold doors, not the metal ones like they have nowadays, the old wooden bifold doors. Oh, weren't they a thrill to paint and sand? Oh, yeah. Make you want to blow your brains out trying to sand those damn things. But anyway, we've learned the best way to prime them was with shellac. because shellac being like an alcohol base dries real quick and it's very easy to sand compared to everything else. So those were one of my best days when we got to shoot shellac on those bifold doors.
Good idea.
If you've ever sprayed shellac for a long period of time, you know what I'm talking about. Because those fumes off the shellac, yes, you have to stop every once in a while and walk outside because you will definitely get a buzz off of it.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any questions?
There's a question in the chat. Aussie Man would like to know, do you have a history of doing art?
Yeah, well, yes. I've always drawn since I was a kid. My mom always teases that she never had to teach me how to hold a pencil. I just picked it up and started using it. I've never done anything professionally. I guess the most professional thing I actually did was probably our logo. I've done stuff for like friends and family and just for ourselves, or like artwork around the apartment. But yeah, I've always done artwork of some kind.
Cool. Just Jim Dockrell goes, shellac has an alcohol base. Yes, and I should have said it differently. It's pigmented shellac, so it's white. So that's what we use. And then yes, pigmented shellac, you have to thin it with alcohol. Matter of fact, denatured alcohol.
There's a difference.
Yeah. Yes,
I
pigmented
didn't know
shellac.
there was a difference.
Well, now shellac is also clear.
Yeah.
That's like you can use shellac. They use the shellac over on the coatings of M&Ms. It's edible, in other words, to keep from it melts in your mouth, not in your hands.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah. So, but they have a pigmented shellac, which is a paint. It's almost like a stain killer too, like the old Kills. It's like Kills, but yes, it is alcohol based. You have to use denatured alcohol to thin it.
It's actually made from bugs.
Yes. Yeah, it's a beetle.
Yummy.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the excrements of a beetle is what shellac is. Yep. And just think, they put it on your food.
Yes.
Yep. Like some M&Ms.
If you ever eat an M&M, you damn sure eat some beetle.
Well, the deal is you look at an M&M and it's like there's chocolate on the inside of this thing. Now, do I want to eat through the bug poo to get to the chocolate? Of course I do. And then you just pop it right in your mouth.
These
So
things
there's not an
right
issue.
here, these things right here have got shellac on them.
Yes. Yes.
Jelly beans
beans.
got shellac, and I confirmed it. It's there. Yes.
Gives
Yeah,
a
but
whole
you
new
also
meaning
eat
to
sardines.
Beetlejuice.
Right?
I like that. That's funny.
It sure does.
You confirmed it by eating the whole bag, or what? Did you actually taste it?
No, I read the ingredients. It's right there.
You're not supposed to read the ingredients.
Yeah, artificial flavors, confectioner's glaze, shellac, carnauba wax, beeswax, and
Carnauba wax.
carnauba wax. Yes,
Oh wow.
yes. Carnauba.
I'm looking at your video making a USB outlet lamp, and I haven't got to that portion yet, and I haven't seen it. What did you use for the power supply for the USB portion of the outlet?
It's a extension cord cable. So we just went and got a grounded 3-prong extension cord and cut it off and wired it in just like you would a wall outlet or whatever. It's actually kind of well, it's not funny, but it was funny. When I was wiring the outlet, I made the wires too long, and so it shorted, and she had a heart attack almost. So it's like, okay, so for anyone who's going to do this, make sure it's shorter because this is what happens. But no, it's actually, I can actually get it. It's right over there. I'll be right back.
I stumbled across what I was talking about. I realized what you did. Now, I hadn't got to that part yet. I've been watching it. The actual receptacle that you bought has USB ports in it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I'm sorry I'm laughing, but I binge watched some of your videos today so I could get some questions. And
Yeah.
the lamp came up, and I go, those wires are a little bit long for that.
Yeah, they were. It had been a little while since I had done it, but yeah. So, but that's how you learn. I mean, you make a mistake, you learn, and that's the whole point of all this is for us to, you know, make mistakes and be better for it.
Exactly.
If everything went right the first time, every time, it'd be boring. And so, like, it's kind of fun to screwed up sometimes and have to figure out how to you know, fix your way out of the problem or whatever, how to solve the problem.
Yeah, the exception to that rule is if you electrocute the shit out of yourself and you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're dead.
I wasn't like hitting the wires, like, let's see if this shorts. It wasn't like that. It was in the thing. So
yeah, it's like she has to call 911 and they're doing CPR.
That might make a viral video.
Yeah, it might.
yeah, right.
Or the blooper reel, either one.
And actually, looking at that though, a lot of times I will cut mine longer than what is needed and then make the bend, twist them and make the bend, and then cut them off because it's easier to me, it's easier to do that than try to cut them short and do that and try to make the bend.
Well, the reason that was the thing is that if I remember correctly, the reason I couldn't do that is because it was going in and coming back out to power the lamp. So it's going into the outlet and coming back out to power the lamp. So that's where it shorted when those two things hit. So if I had curved them both around, it would short inside. So I had to kind of put it on either side of the screw.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, I'm looking at the spray painting you did on the beach painting.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys indoors doing this?
Yeah. Where have you been all night?
Sorry.
If I may interrupt,
I was enraptured with the video. I'm sorry.
if I may interrupt, there is a $2 super chat out there by Portal Woodwork.
I just saw it at the same exact time you brought it to my attention. Thank you, Al. Yes, thank you, Portal Woodworks. I appreciate that very, very much. Yep, I just got a super chat, $2. Thank you.
I like that painting. I love beach paintings.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to make. I actually had the idea for a friend of ours for Christmas, and I never did it. And I was like, you know what? I still want to do that painting. So I just did it anyway.
Yeah. Yes, they were talking about, Chris, that they actually work out of a 10 by 10 bedroom, or in their bedroom, and they have a box fan with a filter on it in the windows. So when they do spray painting, they turn it on to suck out.
I spray paint my model airplanes, and I do the same thing. I got a fan in the window and try to get as many of the fumes outside as I can.
Yeah.
It actually works surprisingly well. It works way better when you're actually in the booth we made that's by the window versus in the middle of the room. But having that on, even when you're in there whatsoever, works better than not having it on.
Yeah.
I like the box you made.
I was talking about doing a spray booth I can hang in the window like you would an air conditioner.
Well, this one's a knockdown one. It Velcros together, but then you can unvelcro it and fold it down and lay it flat and fit it behind stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but you guys should look at the video for it, because the way he made it, he took pieces of the plastic that the walls are made out of and then spaced the different panels apart, so the thing with the duct tape that he made it out of folds over, nice and flat, and you can just pop it right back open again. It was a pretty good idea with the hinging and stuff, the way you did it.
Thank you.
That's an awesome painting.
What do you find is the most challenging thing since you've just started this YouTube channel with doing the videos?
Finding time, because we both have full-time jobs, and even though we're not, obviously we're just starting out, we're not making any money from it, but we still like to keep it on a regular schedule and do them every week and stuff like that. But to do that with full-time jobs and responsibilities and stuff like that, I'd say that's the most challenging part. In the beginning, it was editing for me, because I didn't know how to do it. And so she did a lot of editing to begin with. And since probably about Halloween, I've kind of taken over the editing. But I'd say with making the videos, that's probably it.
Yeah,
with
that's
the actual
job, isn't it?
With the actual projects, I'd say probably the actual woodworking is what we're actually the least experienced with, but also the most excited to do.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much you can do with paint and craft stuff and stuff like that. So whenever I can do something with wood, it's great. But again, we're in a 10 by 10 room, so it's kind of limits your space as to how big you can go with something, which is another reason why we're really excited when we get the new shop. We'll be able to do bigger stuff and stuff like that.
Kind of like a perfect example of somebody that doesn't have space and can actually get out there and still do something. It gives other people out there that say they don't have room for anything, that can still get out there and give it a go.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Two things real quick. Number one, going back through, Leonard Davis is out there. I think I said T-Mac earlier. Patrick from Patrick's Workshop is out there in the chat. Those are the new ones. And then, like I said, David from Portal Woodworks. And then he gave me the $2 super chat. Join my shop. Or Joy in. Got to read it right. Joy in. And he says, Joy.
John M.
Jeez. How the heck did I get Joy out of John?
I'll probably be John Nave.
Sometimes I amaze myself.
I'm
Just
sorry,
rewrite
John,
the
you'll have to change
language,
your
it's
name
cool.
because he's announced it the wrong way.
Yep. John N. He says, my shop is only 12 by 16. Actually, that's a pretty good sized shop.
Oh, I love a 12 by 16 inch shop or foot shop, inch shop. Wow.
Leonard Davis says his is 10 by 12.
Look at Portal's comment.
Yeah, he has a 3,000 foot square shot and he's out of space. Yeah.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. Jim Dockrell says Russ is breathing the shellac fumes again. And Leonard Davis says sniffing shellac, Russ. Yes. I don't know how the heck I seen John and said Joy. Now I ain't figured that one out yet, but thank all of you for very much. And yes, and I put out there in the chat about doing the thumbs up, please. I would appreciate it. Everybody out there, go over there and hit that thumbs up real quick and give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much. So anybody else got any if y'all have questions out there in the chat for him or for them?
Aussie man wanted to know if you had kids, and if so, how do you keep them out of the...
Well, we actually don't have kids right now. We've been talking about it, but we haven't started planning anything yet. But yeah.
We have a dog and a cat, and they're like kids.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
The cat always wants to come up.
Just to let everybody know, Sterling Davis has joined us out there in the chat. So that's really great. How are you doing, Sterling? Haven't seen you in the chat in a while. I hope you're doing fine.
Now just remember, it's a maker community. So when you guys start working on kids, don't forget us. I mean, it's a different kind of video. Yeah, sure. But
I
That's
don't
a
think they
different
allow
channel.
those kind of videos on YouTube.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain because you got to start your own different channel for all that, and it's time consuming. So I don't know if you even want to go down that route.
I think YouTube would have something to say that, and then would you have to say that it's kid friendly or not kid friendly?
Well, there might be a kid involved.
Right. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yes.
After a few days, definitely.
It's all about make, shape, create.
Right? Yes. Boy, Brenda, you got it right on the dot.
just listen as educational. You'll cover everything.
On your bath bombs, have y'all tried? I mean, I know y'all put it in the water, but have y'all actually got in the tub with one of them yet?
I really liked it. It's a little oilier than I would have expected. I think he used a lot of coconut oil. But it was nice. I really liked the smell. Was really nice. It relaxed my muscles. I loved it. I was like, this is really nice.
Cool.
For someone who's never even used one or seen one, I think I did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have to take a shower afterwards to get all the grease off or the oil off. But it was
My wife's been using them for years. I never will forget when she first got. I'm like, she's coming in with these. They were in a little plastic thing, all these little balls, and I'm like, what the hell is that? I had never seen them before. You know, and she's like, oh, they're bath bombs, and I'm, you're gonna blow the toilet off the wall now?
His mother's never even heard of them before. She was like, what's a bath bomb?
What were they used to?
Well, you know, for all the millennials out there, I've got to ask you, how do they taste? They taste good? Or,
Hey, that's my line.
I've decided not to try them.
okay.
I'm gonna say probably salty because of the Epsom salt, but might be coconutty too because it's got coconut oil in it. But
Leonard wants to know, did you cover the bath bombs in shellac?
no, but if I knew I could have, I would have.
And Jim Bashir's, it's, are they edible? That's the question.
I don't think I eat them.
Well, I mean, technically, everything that goes in them is edible. I mean, it's food dye, it's citric acid, it's Epsom salt, which they use for indigestion and stuff like that. Coconut oil, baking soda, like everything that goes in it is edible. So
They are edible.
I would try it, but
No.
I'm not gonna try it.
Jessica says no, they're not edible.
Now that you've named off all the ingredients, they're gonna do it.
Aussie Man says, my bath bombs usually involve me, lots of onions, and in the bathtub.
I was waiting for that.
I was going to say, that's not a bath bomb. That's bubble bath.
yeah, right.
So, Jimbo, or with James Parker, he wants to know, where did you get the glass bowls for the snow globe?
PetSmart.
Yes, that's right.
Jess had actually found one. I forget where he found it, but it was all torn up and scratched up and stuff like that. And we just happened to have the base that perfectly fit it, and that's when we got the idea. And so it had a serial number still on the bottom, and so I Googled it and found it at, I'm pretty sure it was PetSmart, and ordered it right then and there online and just went and picked it up. It was like $7.
Yeah, it's actually plastic, which is really nice because that way if it does drop, in theory it should be break. But using what we use to put together, I don't know how to trust that in it.
Or sitting it upright for that matter.
Cool.
So tell us about that 3D printer you got at Maker Faire.
Oh, the Form Labs. We got it. That was we had gone to Maker Faire Louisville. We were already planning to go, and we're a member of the Discord for the I Like to Make Stuff channel, and they had put up a video, a behind the scenes video, and they were like, we're going to be giving away this at Maker Faire, so if you can come, let us know. And I literally paused the video right there, whatever, messaged them. I'm like, I was already coming. Here's my hotel reservation, this and that. They're like, okay, sure. And literally they were walking into the fair, and we saw them outside. It's like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, oh, hey, you guys are the ones who won the printer. Oh, well, here it is. Like, nice. And so I don't know if we have the photos of that on here. But yeah, we actually got photos with them and stuff like that, and then got to chat with them a while, and they're really cool guys. But I've only been able to use it once. We did a 3D printed Batarang, Batman's Batarang with it, and it worked really well for that. There was some stuff, first time using it that I had some problems with, but for some reason the resin's not printing now, and I think it's because I got like a film in there and I got to get it out. I just haven't gotten around to doing it because again, full-time job, so one of these days we'll get it back up and running and do some more with it.
Cory, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. It's a rabbit hole. Just go ahead and box it up, and I'll PM you my address. Just send it to me. I'm going to save you a bunch of time, a bunch of effort. But you know what? You'll love it once it gets going.
Because that's the kind of guy Al is.
He's
Don't
such a good guy.
worry about it. I'll send you Al's address.
but I mean, when it is working, it works amazingly, and it was super easy. The hardest problem I had was I found a 3D modeling software. I'd never done that before, and got it something modeled really quickly, which was that Batarang. It didn't take me real long. The biggest learning curve I had was figuring out how to get it to the printer software. I actually had to email the manufacturers of it because it's an older printer, and the software they have currently on their website wouldn't support it. And so I had to get them to send me a link to an older one. And once I got that, it was no problem. It worked right away.
What modeling software did you use?
It was Shaper 3D. It's for the I think it's an app only. I don't know if you can use it on the computer. But I used it on my iPad and just did it with that. And I think I had it done pretty quickly. They had really good tutorials on it, and like I was just making it as I was following the tutorials. And by the time I finished the tutorials, I had the thing done. It was just a little playing around to get it to do exactly what I wanted after that. And yeah, didn't take long at all. It's also a relatively simple shape.
You'll love it. You'll figure out ways to use it. It's you can make buttons. You can make buttons with little Batman logos on them and stuff, and you can make stuff. I mean,
or Star Trek logos,
right?
Yeah. Aussie Man says, with me, it's not bubble bath, it's bombs, believe me. And also he said, he posted some real nice comments on my first video, Cooking with Russ, the sauteed pork chops. And he just put out there, he says, Russ, when you read all my comments on your cooking show video, I meant every word of it. Thank you. I appreciate that, Aussie Man. I really do. I appreciate it so much. And yes, there was lots of comments on my first video, and all positive. So I appreciate that. It's doing very well for itself too.
You guys ever plan on like opening an Etsy store or anything like that and make stuff and toss it up there?
So I'm actually, he's pointing at me. We actually have a website called makeshapecreate.com. And I tried to set up the shop, but I'm trying to work out the logistics a little bit more. I do have some wreaths that I made, believe it or not. I do a lot of wreaths that I actually want to sell, but I haven't gotten the logistics figured out yet.
It's mainly the shipping we're trying to figure out, because they're such an odd size that no matter what the weight is, it's like $35 a ship. And so it's not like, oh, well, how do we get the weight down? And you can't shrink it once it's already made. So I think right now she's kind of looking into eBay. We're looking into a couple different things to try to get some stuff sold. The only problem we were worried about with Etsy is that they seem like they charge you fees for everything. But then again, so does eBay. So it's like,
yeah. If you can set up if you can set up your own store on your website for you, that's better, because you're right. Etsy, eBay, all those places, they're going to get their share.
Yeah.
So,
right now I have the wreaths that I think are up on the Facebook Marketplace for, I guess, our area. And I searched for like another site to see if anybody would look at it. I've had a lot of looks, but nobody's really asked me anything about them yet. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I still gotta work out the logistics.
Not trying to discourage you, but that's one. Well, y'all are doing a lot more other things too. But when I was doing a lot of scroll saw work, I tried going in that direction, and my scroll saw work didn't sell very well. But once again, it was all scroll saw work. Y'all are doing bath bombs, you're doing snow globes, you're doing different types of stuff. So you might do good. Wish you luck.
Thank you.
Well, that's also one of the things in both those channels that we mentioned to begin with, is that they don't do just one thing. They do lots of different things. Mm-hmm. And that was one thing we really liked and really intrigued us, is because then not only do we not know what we're going to do next, but the people watching don't know what we're going to do next. And so we can kind of, we've tried to set it up so that we can almost do anything that we want to. It wouldn't be really weird if tomorrow we started welding something, because we've done everything from crafts to woodworking to, glass etching to painting, we try to just, there are some scopes, I did mention doing a cooking video, and she's like, nah, I think that's a little too far. I'm like, okay.
Well, maybe for now. Yeah, maybe for now though, but in the future you might want to get into that,
Yeah. Because he's a really good cook. That's why I let him do all the cooking.
James Parker said that he loves the "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" music on the video y'all did.
We got that from there's a royalty-free site called filmmusic.io, I think. And it's free to join, it's free to use. You just have to put the credits down in the video, and we actually use them for all our music.
Wait, what's the name of that? Because I get in trouble all the time.
Yeah.
Let me look it up just to be sure, but I believe it's filmmusic.io.
Oh, cool.
Yep, filmmusic.io.
We'll look it up tomorrow.
It's free to create a account, like I said, and all you have to do is download the song, and it'll give you the credit. You have to put it in your
comments.
Thank you. Yes, in your video description.
Or description, yeah. Description. Oh, there was something. I was going to say, who was it? Oh, Robert Crow from Robert Crow Mobile Home Workshop. Hi, Robert. He joined us. John N. The one I said Joy a while ago. I got it right this time. It's John.
So is it John and Joy, or are you just confused?
Well, well, that's what I was thinking. I don't know.
Hey, by the way, Russ, I've got a list going, and I just added it to the list. Okay.
What?
Of the names, you can't see it. But let me start off with Rocklear. Anyway, I'll be quiet now. But I've got a list going.
If anyone's interested, I think we're going to have an opening soon.
Yes. Right? Yeah, I'm going to have I'm going to have a vacancy in the panel real quick. I don't know why in the world I have problems pronunciating names for some reason. They seem to give me the hardest time. Like that Vigo, I had to ask my wife, is that how you say that? Yellow rice, when I did the cooking show. I was like, hello. I don't know why.
I remember when I was younger, I've always been a comic book fan, and a friend of mine also read them, and I was reading a Wonder Woman comic, and Wonder Woman's mother is Hippolyta, but forever I pronounced it Hippolyta. and I'm talking to him about Hippolyta, and he's like, who the heck is Hippolyta? I'm like, Wonder Woman's mom. Hippolyta? Oh, yeah, that's it. That's how you pronounce it? Oh, yeah, that's it.
I think I would have pronounced it that way, too.
Hippolyta.
Leonard Davis is saying goodbye. It was good to have you here. Thank you for stopping by and watching with us.
Aussie Man would like to know if Cory and Jessica have any stuff they can show us on the show now that they have made. We
do. We actually, we're smart, and we got pictures ready. I just got to find the share screen button. Give me a second.
We go through this every week.
Yeah.
It's usually one of us, though.
It's usually the panel, yes.
It's on the bottom of the screen, Cory.
Yeah, down at the bottom, very bottom, right in the middle, you should see a green box with an arrow saying share.
Oh, there it is. I see it now. Sorry. Okay, I think it's working. Is it working?
Yep.
Yeah,
yes.
Right here. Okay. And then click.
Here we go. So, how do I get the thing? There we go. So these are clocks we made.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's just wooden panels with fabric stretched over it, and kind of like you would canvases.
Oh, cool.
And then stapled in the back, and then we just put clock hands on them. We did. This is the lamp they were talking about us painting. This is the Finding Nemo lamp.
Yeah, I love that.
That's
I made that for my friend's son.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Right. We did alcohol inks. This is actually like our most viewed video is like homemade alcohol inks. The funny thing is, a girl like 2 weeks ago commented on it and said that what we used, the way we did it wouldn't hold up, and which actually gave us an idea for another project. We're gonna try the way she said, and then test the two and see which one works better. So,
are you gonna add shellac to
it?
Now, what? Why did she say it wouldn't hold up?
Because we used acrylic paint and alcohol, and over time the acrylic or the alcohol would break down the acrylic.
Okay.
And so it wouldn't, no matter how much you shook it up, it wouldn't work right.
Right. In other words,
like you use it, it'll work, and once it dries, it's fine. But you won't be able to use that alcohol ink
over and over again. Yes, because it would attack it over a period of time. And yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right.
So even if you seal the bottle up, it'll still attack it. It's not something where it needs air to screw the. Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to watch that video, but I ran out of time. Before we got on.
So this picture on the screen is actually one we did using those alcohol inks.
Cool.
And then that's Christmas wreath. Star Wars. This is an X glass. It's actually 2 pieces of X glass layered on top of each other with a picture in the background to kind of try to give it like a 3D effect.
Can you talk about that etching stuff a little bit? Because I watched this one. I didn't get a lot of chance to, go through it like I wanted to, but I just thought that etching thing was pretty cool because I've got a laser and you really can't, burning an image onto glass like that is kind of iffy. But that seems to, cover it pretty good without a lot of blotches or anything in it.
Yeah, no, it's super easy. I've actually been, my mom actually had the idea to do one years ago for a friend, and that's actually how I learned to do it. But you just kind of I've always just used like masking tape or whatever, but you could even use like a Cricut or whatever and use like a vinyl for like a template or whatever, but you just mask off where you don't want covered and cover it with the etching armor stuff. And just let it sit. I think on the packaging it says to do for like 5 minutes, but I always do it for like 20. And then you just rinse it off with like lukewarm water, and it's done. And you just take off the masking tape or the whatever you use to mask it off with, and it's super simple, super easy.
James Parker wants to know, where did you get the lanterns for the Christmas lanterns in your video?
AC Moore? Yes.
Yeah.
We got them at AC Moore, which is actually now Michael's because they got bought out.
Right.
How do I unshare the screen, guys? I'm sorry.
Stop share up there.
Thank you. I'm like, where's the button?
I think Hobby Lobby's got those lanterns too.
Probably.
Yeah. We got another cheap shop up here in New England called Christmas Tree Shop, and they've got those also.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool. Well, I over on Facebook, we're doing pretty good tonight. I think we got like 25, 26 people watching us over there.
Yeah, Twitch is just one, me.
Yeah, Twitch is just one. Actually, the last week when you said there wasn't anybody watching, actually I got a report from Restream and there was 4. It shows there were 4 people watching it.
They were lurking. Yeah, they just hadn't said anything. They were just lurking.
Right, they were lurking and didn't put anything in the chat.
That was great. That's great.
But anyway, I just want to bring attention to those over there on Facebook. Like I said, there's like 28 people. George, here, let's go back. Margie Lexton, Grant Davis, Tammy LaJoy, Michael Chipster, John P.A. Cousins, and I got that right.
Okay, you mess up one name in your whole Simply Wooden Creations career, and it comes back to you every week, right?
Yep.
Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah. Roger Smith, Captain Tommy Zeisman, Ted Alexander, Holly Denny, Ashley Davis, George Stevenson, Adele Herrick, Hans Meyer, David Kepi, Gina Tincher,
Holly,
Han, Bob Lee, Robert Size Jr., John Ashton, Deanna Limlin, Sean Smithson, and Jeremy Crawford are all over on Facebook watching us. Wow, that's really great, guys. Thank you for watching us over there on Facebook. We appreciate it. And if you, I already typed out there one time, if you have a question for Cory and Jessica, all you have to do is type it in and we will read it off and ask them if you want to know something about one of their videos. And if you haven't seen, their YouTube channel is Make Shape Create over on YouTube. So if you just go into YouTube and the search for YouTube, just type in Make Shape Create and they'll pop up. So you can watch their videos.
You can just do youtube.com/makeshapecrate too. We got the
Okay,
whatever.
cool. But good to have all y'all over there on Facebook joining us. I appreciate that. That's a lot of people. Appreciate
Russ,
that very
did you say
much.
Michael Chipser?
Yeah, Michael Chipser is out there in the over there on Facebook.
Yeah, he's the one who's had a bad week. He flipped his truck.
Yeah, I know that. Poor I told him he this week has been, if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have had any luck at all.
Mike, I hope you're feeling better and your luck improves, man.
He was taking his kids to school, I believe, and he hit some black ice and rolled his truck. That was the first thing. Then apparently his brother came over to see him later on that afternoon at his house. So as he's trying to turn into his driveway, this is his brother now, somebody rear ends his brother. Oh, wow. Yeah, all in the same day. So.
Yeah, but he also started his week with his hot water heater not working.
Yep. His hot water heater wasn't working the beginning of the week. So it's like,
to the ER for chest pain. So he's not had a good week.
Nah.
Sounds like a country song.
Yeah.
Something off a hee-haw.
Improving for you.
Yeah, let's put it this way. Yeah, if it weren't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I'm like, kind of like every time I watch one of his posts, I'm doing this because I don't want any of the bad mojo to get over on me. So yeah, that's pretty bad. And fortunately, neither from what he posted, neither him or his daughters, I think they got a few bumps and scratches, but they were okay. So. He literally rolled his truck. He showed pictures, and it's like, oh my God!
I saw that.
Wow. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Chris Nealon's out there in the chat. Anybody? We're winding down. It's almost 9 o'clock tonight, and my wife made me a homemade carrot cake, and I can hear that sucker right now in that kitchen going, Russ, eat me. And I'm like, so we're not going to carry the show on too much longer than 9 o'clock tonight because I want a piece of that carrot cake.
That carrot cake made me think of Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny. Yeah.
But don't forget.
So anybody got any? I'm looking back over on Facebook to see if anybody has any questions. Nope, nobody's posted any questions over there on Facebook. How about here on YouTube? Has anybody Jeff Robinson wants to know, has anybody asked if y'all have a scroll saw?
No, we do not. We have a bandsaw and a jigsaw, obviously a circular saw. We use the bandsaw, I'd say, for most stuff.
Bandsaws.
Yeah, bandsaw. Yeah, that's a workhorse.
And you'd be surprised, the scroll saw is also a godsend because a scroll saw, you can make these little tiny cuts for things, and it's lots of fun too.
Yes. Yeah, I would highly recommend. And good thing about a scroll saw is it doesn't make a big mess. I have known a lot of people that live in apartments that do scroll saw work. It's very minimal mess. It's all usually right there where you're at, and it can be easily cleaned. You take a piece of visqueen and lay it down and put the saw on top of the visqueen, and you've got it. I mean, that's it.
You can enter Russ's contest.
Yeah, I have a contest every year.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Jimbo's asking, Russ, did you enjoy your shrimp?
Yes, they were good. I had shrimp on the Barbie the other night, and as soon as I put that on there, Barbie is an Australian word for barbecue, and it's spelled Barbie, I think it is. But anyway, the same way that Barbie doll, and I was thinking like shrimp on the Barbie. People are going to think I'm perverted. I'm eating shrimp on a Barbie doll.
A little out there.
Yeah. So,
but it's Bobby.
It's Bobby.
Shrimp on the Bobby.
Yeah. Michelle Marcoux says workshop
confession.
Workshop confession from Michelle.
Yeah, we want to know the blood, guts, and gore, and what is both of y'all, Cory and Jessica, what is something that you've done in your shop that after you did it, you said, "Why in the heck did I did that?" It either caused some maiming, some blood, something like that.
The gorier the better.
Yeah, the gorier the better.
I don't think there's anything real.
The worst thing I think was with the lamp was when I almost shorted the lamp Well, I did shoot the lamp.
It almost electrocuted himself.
I didn't know it was electrocuted myself. It was in the housing. It was in the housing. It just sparked.
It just sparked.
Yeah, that's all.
So far, but I am terrified of using the bandsaw. I don't know why it scares me. It just does. I'm trying to lose a finger or something. So I let him do a lot of that.
I'm going to say this is cruel, but I'm sorry I have to do it. I was going to say, Cory, when it happened, did your hair frizz? Oh wait, you don't have that much hair.
I know, right? Now my beard went droop.
Well, before he did that, he had hair.
That's a good one.
Yeah, buddy.
Putting that down on the list too, Russ making fun of guests.
You are going to get fired.
I may as well go the whole route, right?
You got a big yellow book.
If you're gonna go out with a bang.
Yep.
That's right. I got plenty of pages.
Billy Polton said, "Hey guys, hi Billy." Over on Facebook, he's over there. He's the first one, other than Jim Bashir's or some of the panel, saying something over there. Yep, my wife just joined us over there on Facebook.
Hey.
Hello, sweetheart. It won't be long, and I'll be there, and I'll have a piece of that cake in my hands.
I thought Facebook just classed up suddenly.
Yes, yes. Hello,
Yes.
Nancy.
I want, I'm drooling at the mouth wanting a piece of that carrot. I love carrot cake. I've always loved carrot cake. It's one of my favorite cakes. It's carrot cake and cherry pie. I love cherry pie. But so when I met her and then we got married, I was telling, she knew I like carrot cake. She says, well, I can make homemade carrot cake. And I said, really? She's like, yeah, well, you're kind of a little skeptical going like, yeah, how this is going to turn out. And so she made her first homemade carrot cake for me years ago, and I tasted it. I'm like, oh my God, yes. She makes one of the most fantastic carrot cakes that I've ever eaten my entire life. It is just off the wall.
Can she bring some on the cruise?
Yeah.
Really?
Ask her for a bunch of friends.
I mean, it is she puts lots of icing. I like I love all the icing. She puts lots of icing, and then the cake is so moist. It's not dry at all. It's very moist. So
Tell her to bring a big purse and put at least 4 or 5 servings in there. One.
Yeah. She put in the chat, hello, everyone. It's good to have her join us.
Why am I not seeing her? Maybe it's up the line or.
Well, I hope you don't see her.
Well, yeah.
Because you'll be making some smart aleck comments, and she's Puerto Rican. She might cut you.
Uh-oh. No me corte, chica, no me corte.
There's a good chance of that.
I always wash down the carrot cake with a big piece of chocolate. German chocolate cake.
I wash it down with a glass of milk, ice cold milk.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah, my mother's specialty when God bless her, when she was alive, she used to make I love it too, but not as much as carrot cake. But she used to make a wicked German chocolate cake. Oh, that was good. All right, so Him and I Woodworking said, I seen you on Facebook Live first. Well, good to have you, Him and I Woodworking over here, and good to have all y'all out there. Over there on Facebook. Like I said, we had the last count was 22, and we've had 5 or 6 more join since that last count. So we've got to be somewhere between 25 and 30 people over there on Facebook.
Doing good tonight.
Yep, doing real good tonight. So, all right, guys.
And there's that guy over on Twitch. Can't forget him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny about it is on Twitch now, I don't see, because like we were talking about, you can be a lurker on Twitch and nobody knows it. So unless you type something in the chat. And I was surprised when I got the report that it says there were 4 people watching us over there. And they actually watched, the longest duration was like 47 minutes that they watched. So that's pretty hefty. But, Jim Dockrell says bacon on the barbecue is heaven. Yeah, anything with bacon is good.
Yes.
Right?
And then
Although-
him and I woodworking says German chocolate cake is the best. Yes, it's good. Not as good as carrot, but it's good.
It was funny when we went on our honeymoon. We went to that Fogo de Chão.
Fogo de Chão.
No, it's actually pronounced Chão.
Oh, sorry.
Put that on the list too.
Now you got an owl there beside you, don't you, Jessica?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Make your list.
they had I think it was filet mignon wrapped in bacon, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be amazing!" And I thought it was the worst thing they had.
Oh, Buffon Boucher.
Apparently, they didn't know how to cook it.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, they didn't know how to cook it. Let me tell you, 4 years ago, I think it was 4 years ago, we tried something, and it is just off the chain. For the first time 5 years ago, we covered we bake a turkey in the oven, and we covered it with bacon. And we baked that. Oh, we baked that turkey the first year. I pulled it out and we started cutting. It was so juicy. And then, yes, you could taste the bacon in it. Oh, it was so for the last 4 or 5 years since we've tried it the first time, every year now we cover it. We get a whole big thing of bacon, use the whole thing on it.
That sounds good.
It is very good.
What was it that I made that I wrapped in bacon?
Meatloaf.
Oh yeah, I made a meatloaf and wrapped the whole thing in bacon and then baked it.
It sounds good, but it was a failure on our part.
It was so greasy.
Well, meatloaf, unless you have a special pan to keep
it's
it
already greasy.
Exactly.
And then bacon is already greasy. So it's just like
it was a good idea though.
Yeah.
Every mouthful is a heart attack waiting to happen.
Right.
I don't think we told you about the rules on this channel before you came on, but you cannot talk bad about bacon on anything.
No.
So if you want to say bacon's greasy, that's okay, but take it someplace else.
Oh no!
Put up with that
I
here.
love bacon. She'll tell
Okay.
you, I'll make a 3-pound block of bacon and I'll go in the other room and eat it by myself.
All right. Well, you're welcome anytime.
If you say bacon's bad, you gotta eat sardines.
Yeah, no, bacon's not bad at all. I love bacon.
You know your wife's cooking as good as when the dog's dragging his butt across the carpet and licking himself at the same time.
Ew.
The bacon was good.
That's the reason I never, ever, ever have let a dog lick me in the face, because I know where that tongue has been. So, all right. Jeff Robinson says confession time. Jeff, you're a day late and $1 short. We already did that. Cory, his confession was he electrocuted himself. Oh, and I forgot to say, bless you, Cory, that you will not electrocute yourself anymore.
Don't we get two? We got two. Yes, I think she got double.
Well, have you done anything, Jessica?
She spray painted her hands blue.
That I did. And
Every like totally blue.
Yeah, they were
she looked like a Smurf.
How'd you get it off?
She did it 3 times.
It took a while, and I did. And now I finally learned to wear gloves.
Yes.
Like,
Y'all have a harbor.
Every time she would spray paint, somehow her both hands would be covered. And she's not like holding the piece and spray it. She'd just be spraying it.
Hey,
And get it on her,
paint gets
cover her
everywhere.
hands.
Do y'all have a Harbor Freight near y'all?
Yes.
Yes.
Those blue nitrile gloves, they are the best. And they're cheap.
The sad thing is I bought a box of them and she did it another time. And I'm like, why didn't you wear the gloves? She's like, oh yeah.
Her hands must have stayed glued when she was doing that with the yarn, making that shade.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was terrible. They were so blue, and they stayed for a couple, probably like a day or two. I couldn't get that blue off.
And the sad thing was that was just food dye.
Yeah, it just like
That wasn't like paint, it was food dye.
Oh, real quick, since you mentioned that, it brought up something that I wanted to tell y'all. I don't know if you've tried this or not, but the food dye brought up the thing that I was thinking about when y'all talking about mixing alcohol with acrylic paints. And that is, I don't know if you know this, but you can mix alcohol with food coloring and make dyes.
No.
Oh.
Yes.
No, I
and
did
it
not know that. The
and it
girl,
works.
the lady who brought it up to us suggested using printer ink refill.
Yes, you can do that too.
We're actually going to try that in the near future.
Well, the thing about
above, yeah.
Yeah, the thing about food coloring and alcohol is it doesn't it's not like a paint, it's more like a dye or a stain. In other words, you can still see the wood grain kind of through it. Even if you dump a ton of food coloring, it's still kind of more of a stain or a dye, not a paint, so to speak. But what I like about it is two things. I like that idea that I can turn something red shade, but I can still see the wood. The second thing is the alcohol doesn't raise the grain as bad as if you were using food coloring and water. So it's a lot easier to sand. And the third thing is it dries because of alcohol really, really fast. So
that works great on pine.
Yes. Oh, it looks
your
real
green,
good on
blue,
pine.
and orange looks awesome on pine.
Yeah. What'd you say, Al?
I've got a question. If you use the food coloring and you get water on it, doesn't it come off then?
Well, the alcohol helps it set, but you have to put something over it. You just can't leave it by itself.
You'll have to clear coat it somehow.
Yeah, you're either going to have to use polyurethane, lacquer, shellac, something clear.
Shellac.
Shellac, yeah.
Shellac should have been the drinking word tonight.
Yeah, use beetle poop. Use beetle poop to cover it up.
Shellac is even good with bacon.
Yeah.
I've always heard that if you wanted to dye wood, though, you could just use like that right dye or that or fabric dye or whatever that you can get like at the grocery store.
Yep, that'll work.
Jeff Robinson said rubbing or denatured alcohol. I haven't used denatured alcohol in years. Well, number one, I don't use any. Quit using pigmented shellac, but I use rubbing alcohol. I go to, and it works just as good, just the same. I go to what we use. Yep, I go to Walmart and it's cheaper. I'll buy 4 or 5 of the bottles of it's actually not rubbing alcohol. I buy isopropyl alcohol.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, there's sometimes rubbing alcohol can have stuff in it like a scent, or they actually have the mint, which is like a green or whatever color. So the isopropyl don't have any of that in there.
Okay.
Well, I think you can use it the same way. I mean, if you don't want the dyes and stuff like that, like you said, get the isopropylene. But for like a wound care or something like that, I think they work the same way.
Yeah. So you use that, and it's cheaper.
It's like 97 cents
rubbing
for like a
and
huge bottle.
Jim Dockrell says rubbing alcohol is denatured, and you're right. If you look on the back of on the can of denatured alcohol, and you pull up that little bottle from Walmart and read them, they're the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Now,
I wouldn't suggest going out there and using vodka to do it.
No.
Too expensive.
Everclear.
Well, Everclear would work.
Probably. You don't want to waste Everclear on that.
I was going to say, do you know how much a fifth of Everclear would cost?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm bringing on the cruise ship with me.
But think how happy the wood would be after you use it.
Yeah.
There are different percentages of the alcohol when you go to buy it too. You should get 90%.
Yeah. 90+%. Yes.
That'll be the isopropyl, and the rubbing is 50 or under.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's why I said I would go with the isopropyl. That's what I always use. But I buy 4 or 5 bottles at a time and keep it, because as long as you keep it sealed, it'll last for a long time. It's not going to evaporate. Now, once you open it, it has a tendency to evaporate. But
I didn't know there was 99%. Jim Dockrell out there is saying that 99% strength isopropyl at TSC, which is 1% water.
Very hard to find that.
Wow.
Yeah. I've seen 90, but I don't think I've ever seen 99.
Corey, you can use the 90% for your 3D printer when you wash it.
That's what I wash mine with. Yeah.
You got to
That's
clean
exactly
your
what I
3D
use.
print.
Yep.
Your resin printer, you got to clean that with that 90% alcohol.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we use. The exact same alcohol we used for the to make the alcohol inks. Same stuff we use to clean it. Yep.
Yep.
My wife posted a GIF of bacon over in over on Facebook.
I thought she was going to put pictures of carrot cake over there and try to get you to shut the show down and get in the house.
You can't talk about carrot cake unless you can email us a piece.
I'll be thinking about you.
I bet you will.
This bite's for Brenda. This one's for Jim. This one's for.
Yeah.
What about one for me?
I ain't giving you one.
Remember, I'm keeping a
You've been,
list.
whoa! You've been nothing but sarcastic and contra. Yeah, you ain't getting none.
I'm keeping a list and I'm checking it twice.
Yeah, and you have been naughty and not nice.
Well, there'll be another bag of sawdust in your stocking at Christmas time.
There you go.
Yep. All right, guys. Yeah, we're getting ready to cut out of here. Hair dyeing alcohol. That's, yeah. I never thought about that. Jeff Robinson said that, hair dyeing alcohol. But yeah, I use the isopropyl from Walmart all the time for anything. And like I said, you can get using food color, you can get the red, or you can get the colors pretty dark, but they're never like a paint type. It's going to be more of a dye where you can see the wood through it. And I like that look. I mean, I really do. I like the look.
Well, it probably also depends on what you're doing too. I mean, some things you want it to be more translucent than others, and some things you're going to want it to be more opaque.
Yes.
We luckily haven't had to do too much stuff with alcohol inks. We've done stuff because we wanted to, but like once we get the new shop, I think some of the stuff we want to do is we want to try our hand at some resin stuff and stuff like that, where alcohol inks would work out very well. So
yeah.
I thin alcohol paint or acrylic paint with water and just a little bit of glycerin, and it works really well. And you can thin that so much that it's like a dye where you can see the grain through it.
Yeah.
What does the glycerin do, Paul?
I don't know.
Keeps it thick, probably.
Well, I read someplace to put just a little bit of glycerin in it, and I think it might help it flow easier. I don't know. Or
something made me think it's like Penetrol, that it will make it flow. The glycerin seems like it would make it flow. Yeah, because I noticed that when you do mix alcohol with stuff, it has a tendency to want to drag rather than slide because the alcohol's setting so quick.
Yeah.
That would definitely make sense by using the glycerin in it. Okay, guys. Well, I don't see any more questions. And thank you all once again for being out there in the chat over on YouTube. I appreciate everybody being out there tonight. Jim Dockrell, Jeff Robinson, John N., Aussie Man, all y'all, and Patrick, Dan Inge, James Parker. All y'all been out there. I appreciate it. So T-Mac, I appreciate y'all being out there. And also all y'all who joined us over on, Mike Lincoln's just joined us over on Facebook. Margaret Hecox. Margaret Hecox's wife, a very good friend of mine, Rick Hecox. So Chris Riley, Scott Leach, Elvira De Jesus. That's Nancy's aunt. And I know I messed up her name. So she's really going to love me.
No cake for you tonight.
She's really going to love me. So, yeah.
Al's busy writing.
Al, I'm going to take that piece of paper and I'm going to wad it up and I'm going to put it somewhere the sun don't shine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's it. We're calling it a night. So thank you very much, Cory and Jessica. I appreciate it. And even I hadn't said before, make sure I will put down in the comments and also the link to their YouTube channel. So make sure all y'all that's been out there watching tonight, go over there and subscribe to them. And don't, they can use the subscribe. What do y'all got? 150 right now?
Yeah, we just hit, I think, 156.
Okay.
Today.
Cool.
And I believe that was, Mr. Paul
and myself.
Well, with all y'all watching out there tonight over on Facebook and over on YouTube, there's enough people to put y'all to 200. So I want to see them to 200 tonight.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, because when you add up everybody that's, we've probably had 70, 80 people watching between YouTube and over there on Facebook. So We should be able to put them over 200 tonight. Let's
Yep.
do that.
Yep, you're
Well,
at
I'd appreciate it.
165 now.
Done, and done.
Good.
Thanks,
Cool.
Doug.
All right. And don't forget about Cooking with Russ, the new YouTube channel I've got out there. Also, I'll put that information out there for all y'all. So, again, thank you, Brenda, Jim, Dixon, Paul, Chris. And I hate to say this, but thank you, Al.
You're welcome.
And
Russ.
and Russ Meadows. Thank you. And also, again, thank you, Cory and Jessica, for being on here tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
There isn't but one thing we have left to do, and that is if you're too busy to get out in your shop and make some sawdust, you're just too darn busy. Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust, all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody. Thank you for
Boys and
watching,
girls.
and God bless.
And remember,
Night,
you
y'all.
don't have to go home, but you cannot stay here. So finish up your drinks and get out.